Okay, good afternoon, everybody. Let me switch this to over here. We have got a new tornado warning in effect right now for Oswego County until 2:30 this afternoon. What I'm going to do is switch my viewpoint here so that you can see this. Just hold on, I'm just turning my mics on and stuff. So if you're joining us right now from Facebook, Twitter, or YouTube, okay, what you're looking at right now is a different vantage point of what we normally see here on the radar. But this right here is a classic rotating appendage and thunderstorm right here. This was the one I was worried about. This is right now on Route 104 between Oswego and New Haven. And notice this couplet right in here. That is very, very concerning. I just want to quickly look at, hey, Megan, we have another tornado warning in effect. Everybody, just Megan Coleman will be on the air live. I'm right now on I'm on social right now, but we're going to be on the air as soon as you can. Can you also tell them upstairs that I need them? Okay, now I hear them. We are already live, so we can go whenever you want because we should. For me, yes. Yes, please. As soon as possible, please. Always all three stations, always all three stations. Good afternoon. I'm NBC3 meteorologist Peter Hall, joining you from NBC3, CBS 5, and CW6. We have a brand new tornado warning. Heads up right now in Oswego County as we bring this up full screen for you. Places like New Haven and Scriba up towards Pulaski and Richland, you have a tornado warning. It's a radar indicated warning, which means that we do not have an actual confirmation of a funnel, but we do have lots of rotation on the radar. So let's get right to the radar right now so you can see what's going on. This was the same cell when we went off the air about 15 minutes ago. Remember, we were on the air saying this one by Oswego looks very, very suspicious. And unfortunately, it has now got a tornado warning in effect. But I'm going to look at all the lightning. I'm just going to take the lightning off just for a second. Do you see this? This is a classic hook shape right here. This is bad news. I am really, really worried about this. Okay, and this thing is moving roughly in this direction. Okay, so anybody right now between the Route 104 corridor, which is roughly New Haven, New Mexico, and points north, this entire area right here, you need to be going to the lowest floor right now, just to show you the velocities here. And remember how I said the red and green together is bad news? Okay, that's that right here. These are winds flowing this way in red and greens flowing this way, which implies there's twisting right here on Route 104B, right near New Haven. Okay, and just showing you a motion of this, it's moving like this. So this is the corridor that I'm most concerned about. Now, everybody within the red polygon needs to take this seriously. So everybody in this polygon that I'm drawing right here, probably to about there. Okay, this area right here is probably okay for any more tornado potential. But from New Haven, east-northeast, okay, that is at the very least damaging winds, if not worse. Just to bring you back to the reflectivity, this is very concerning. To have a hook echo like this is very rare in central New York. That is textbook potential tornado. Megan, I know Megan Coleman's here too. I don't know if you can maybe reach out to the state police or somebody up there. I'm very concerned about this. So.
Yeah, I mean, obviously all local law enforcement, I would imagine, are on standby right now, and our emergency management services across all of central New York counties are very likely monitoring this super closely, Pete. Pete, when you talk about that hook and you're saying how concerned you
This
are.
here, yep.
What is it about that arc that you're seeing that concerns you most?
So try not to get in too much of the weeds here. You're getting the winds flowing down and around and twisting. If you could bring the radar back up to not that one, the other one, the one that's behind me, the weather computer, you can actually see, look at this, see this? This is just, you got the air flowing down this way and twisting up in this way. So this is, I want to bring up some roads here. We mentioned 104B, which is right here, Dempster to Texas. You got Chapman Road here, County Route 43, Dempster Beach Road. Then you've got, of course, Route 3 corridor. Heads up right now on the Route 3 corridor. You need to get inside right now. In fact, it's probably a good idea to go over some of these things. What a tornado terminology. What do these words mean? Watch, which we all have. We're all prepared. Warning means you need to take action right now in Oswego County, okay? Tornado has been spotted on radar. It hasn't been officially spotted by a person, but I'm just looking at the radar. I'm very concerned about this. And just another piece of information. Well, what does that all mean? Go to the lowest floor of your house. Stay away from outside windows and walls. And if you've got a basement, that's the best place. If you don't, go to an interior room like a small bathroom, a small interior room. Make sure you've got communication. And you want to make sure you're covering your feet. Wear sneakers, shoes, sandals, anything. If you're barefoot, that's typically what you do in a basement. You go down to the basement. Don't do that, because then you can wind up having to walk through damage. Megan.
Yeah, we've been monitoring power outages across the central and northern New York area throughout the afternoon here. So far, we are not getting big power outages in central New York. Perhaps they haven't popped up yet, or they certainly could in the near future. So make sure, as Pete mentioned, that you are keeping a cell phone nearby, an iPad, some form of communication that you can take with you if you're heading down to a basement or indoors. A way that you can, maybe if you lose power, you won't have access to your television to watch us, but you will be able to do so on our Facebook page, on our Instagram channel, on our website, if you are able to connect to your cell phone. So make sure that you keep those tools handy, because we, of course, will be updating those platforms for you as well. In terms of power outages, the greatest number that we're seeing right now, Pete, is on NYSEG. About 26,000 customers are in the dark. That's an Erie.
Right, that was from a previous. I don't want to cut you off here, Megan, but there's a couple of things I really want to.
Let's get to it, Pete.
Okay, first of all, remember how we said in Western New York there's more action? Look at all the tornado warnings in Western New York. Right. See that south of Rochester? Right. Well, that was actually near Buffalo when you were saying Erie County. Okay. Here's just the whole, just want to show the whole thing here. Look, this isn't one of the, sometimes you get some sort of storm and it's over. There's more back here, okay? There's even another tornado warning over here, south of Jamestown, way down here, okay? And then there's these, and then we've got to go back to this one here in Oswego County. It is so rare to get a hook echo like this. There's a ton of lightning. I'm just gonna take the lightning off so you can see it better, okay? This right here is very disturbing. This kind of hook echo is so classic for a tornado. And just to show you the velocities here, again, velocities, why do we show it? It shows us wind direction and speed. And when you've got very bright green like this next to red, that's a big problem. Why? Because the red is moving away from the radar site. The radar site's over here, and the winds are flowing towards the radar site. So you can imply a twisting motion right there, right near on the shoreline there, between Rainbow Shores and Hickory Grove and Dayside. Next up is probably Pulaski. Get to a lowest floor and basement right now in Pulaski. Okay, we got a camera in Pulaski. Great. Let's take that full screen right now. Okay. Wow.
I can tell you this is Route 11
okay.
and Route 13 in Pulaski.
Mm-hmm.
If you look off to the left-hand
yep.
side of your screen, you can see that dark, ominous sky. That is what's coming at folks in Pulaski. So we see some folks on the road driving. These people need to get home immediately, right, and get inside.
Yes, I can see that as well. I just pulled that up full screen on my thought. Even if you don't see a tornado, okay, this is going to potentially have damaging winds as well. So you just need to get inside. Okay, like you see a couple of buildings there, right? Okay, how about that one right in the middle, the gray one? If that's got a basement, go there. If it doesn't, that's a pretty big house. Go to an interior room because it has more walls to protect you. God forbid you get flying debris. We've seen things get thrown through windows, big 2x4s. You get cows are lifted up in the Midwest, for goodness sakes. Okay, this is not something to be, taking lightly, especially here.
A basement, though, Pete, that has a wall of windows, or a home that has
right.
a lot of windows. Where else can you go? Can you climb inside of a bathtub or somewhere, maybe in a back room, a closet?
So you're saying like if there's a basement with like you can walk out basement?
Basement.
Right. So that means get away from the window. So there might be let's say you have a bathroom. That would be good.
Okay.
Yeah. Don't be near a window. Do not be near a window. Okay. That is not what you want to be doing. Just to, again, give you a perspective here, just a quick radar loop of all of these storms, just so you're wondering in Syracuse, like, Pete, there's nothing going on. Why are you cutting in? Well, first of all, we do have something going on in Oswego County, but look at these storms back here. They're all moving northeast. Guess where they're going next? Finger Lakes, 81 corridor, points east. This is going to be a big afternoon. I'm really worried about it. I've been here almost 30 years. I don't think I've ever said that on the air.
Yeah.
Ever. 30 years.
This is really important for folks to stay, as you say, Pete, weather aware. And we have some news just into our news just moments ago. Onondaga County has now announced that all county offices will be closed effective at 2 o'clock today. So in just the next couple of minutes, all county offices in Onondaga County are shutting down due to this pending storm. Essential services, they say, will still be provided, okay? So your police, firefighters, your EMTs, the emergency management folks, again, they are keeping very close watch on what's happening on the radar for you right now. But any of those other county services that you might rely on, those are shutting down for the day. Those folks, I would imagine, are going to be heading home here in a few minutes. If people are making their way home, okay, if these offices are shutting down and people are making their way home, I would imagine they just need to get home and get home quickly. Don't stop along the way.
Well, right. I mean, first of all, you should never be driving into a tornado.
Right.
Don't do that. Okay. If you're in Syracuse and you have to drive home to Camillus, you're fine. If you're working in Pulaski, don't leave. Do not leave right now in Pulaski. If you're working or you're at home or do not leave.
What if you live in Pulaski but you work in Onondaga County and you're maybe heading home? Should you maybe stick where you are or find another place? Well,
I mean, by the time you got there, that storm's going to be gone probably.
Okay.
You could wait a little bit and watch us right here on NBC3. That's fine. So you're saying that camera's on Route 11, right?
Route 11 and Route 13. And
yeah, that's right here. Okay.
Have been monitoring, seeing a lot of lightning flashes.
Okay, here, I'm going to show you exactly. See that X I just put on there? That's where that is. Okay. That's exactly where that camera is. And we're not in the worst part. The worst part of the storm is back here. Okay. So that's coming right for you. I just want to take all this stuff off here just to show you once again just how things are moving. I know I've got the velocity scan up here and not the regular scan, but it makes sense because it shows me this is very strong winds moving in this direction and these winds are flowing that way. Okay, so you got twisting winds. If there's a tornado, there's probably one right here and maybe even another one right there offshore. We have such a dynamic environment that's very rarely seen. Yes, partially.
When I was walking in today.
It's made it worse. The fact that we got all that sun this morning, I saw Matt Mulcahy, who was walking his dog. Oh, it's really nice and sunny. I go, this is bad. Because it's essentially adding literally more fuel to the fire. You had all this other stuff. And now we're just basically priming the atmosphere to basically almost any strong to severe thunderstorm could twist.
Yeah. Let's talk about as we head into the afternoon because we have seen this, shift. We saw Madison County with the tornado warning. Now we're back in the air with the tornado warning in Oswego County. Other counties in central New York, Pete, if they are not under that tornado warning, could that change for them in the next couple of hours?
Yes. In fact, we already have areas to our west, almost in central New York, not quite. Just west of Penn Yan, there's a tornado warning right here. See this one? And over here by, this is around Bath and Steuben County. And there's other ones here, and there's even one southwest of Jamestown. So this is what I was trying to say. Every one of these cells, it's very rare you say this. A lot of these cells have the potential to quickly spin up. Now, the worst one nearby is the one in Oswego County. That's the one we've been zooming into. Here's the same one again. I'll take the lightning off so you can see it better. Okay, and I'll just do one rotation. You see how, just how things are moving in through here? So by the way, besides this being the primary threat, there's also hail here probably too. Right now in Pulaski and approaching Sandy Creek. Not good. This is not good. Not good at all.
Back to Madison County where we saw that tornado warning earlier. Has that spot moved on? Or is there still concern in Madison County at this moment?
All right. I'm just showing a different radar spectrum. This is called correlation coefficient just to see if there's any debris ball. That's the one thing we don't want to see. We don't have that, but look at this. And this is just, you got green against red right here, green against red right here, twisting everywhere going on. That is why Pulaski literally, can we bring up the 511 again? That'd be great. Wow, not good. This is not good. This is literally right going over Pulaski right there. See that? You got to be in your safe spot. There it is right there. Do we have, I'm just going to, I can't see the map all the way. I'm just going to step out just for a second here. Yeah, you can see on the left side of the screen there, really dark. I don't see any funnels, but tell you what, we don't have to stay on that. We've got Matt upstairs, right? Is the director also keeping an eye on this? If you see something funnel-wise or something, please let me know, okay? Let's go back to the radar. Did I cut you off, Megan? I'm sorry, I got ahead of myself there. Yes, Madison County. Yeah, no more concern. It's gone. Well, there's a little thunderstorm that just exited Madison County. The two cells have kind of weakened, actually the three of them, if you remember. 1, 2, 3. Still storms, may sprout again, but that's going to be out of our viewing area in terms of those particular cells. But in terms of who's got it next, okay, yeah, the Oswego cell, which right now is literally impacting Pulaski in seconds, that's going to be heading towards Lowville, Harrisburg, maybe Big Moose and Old Forge, and potentially right into, basically Lewis County. But then you've got this arc of cells back here, and these are all moving towards us. So lock up. I mean, this is a lot of storms to keep an eye on.
You know, I think it's really important to note as well, this is camping season in central New York, in upstate New York, in the Adirondacks. There are a lot of people who may not have access to a television right now, Pete. So if you have friends or family who are camping right now, hopefully they brought their cell phone with them. I think it's important to, touch base with the people in your inner circle to make sure that people are safe. Make sure that you're checking on the elderly. Perhaps you have older parents or grandparents. Keep your pets indoors. It's also really dangerous for your pets to be outside. This is not the time that you want to take them for a walk, or certainly leave them outdoors, Pete. So I think that, it's really important for everybody just to be cognizant of their family and friends and where they are right now. There are a lot of camps also that are going on, Pete. Children who, may be out exploring a lake or a pool. And you mentioned earlier, just really not the day to be on the water. But certainly not Lake Ontario, even, Oneida Lake or the Finger Lake.
I would get off the waters right now. All of them. Get off. It's fine right now in Oneida Lake. It's fine right now in Onondaga Lake. It's fine at Tisco, Owasco, Cayuga, Seneca. They're all fine right now. That's when you want to get inshore. You don't want, I don't even care if these don't get warned. You don't want to be on a boat with lightning. You're the tallest object, period. So you don't want to be boating during any thunderstorms, much less ones that could create damage or possibly tornadoes.
Yeah, I mean, you don't want to be caught out there fishing. You don't want to be tubing or water skiing or just going for a little bit of a joyride on a day like today, save for another day. You do need to be really, really careful right now. The wind, by the way, is really whipping right now. Let's go back to that 501 camera that we were showing you earlier out of Pulaski. Again, this is Route 11 and Route 13. Some ominous looking skies. That camera has been shaking in the wind. There are cars out on the road. Listen, this is just a day where you just want to get home and get to safety. As Pete said, there are several steps that you can take to stay safe. Make sure that if you are in one of the danger zones, we're talking about this tornado warning in Oswego County right now, but you're getting into the interior side of your home. If you have a basement, go to that. That's the lowest point in your home. Stay away from any windows. You want to make sure that you are wearing shoes or sneakers because, if there is a tornado or a severe thunderstorm that comes through your neighborhood, trees can go down. Wires can go down, and if you are there later on tonight to survey that damage, you want to make sure that you have something on your feet that's safe. There could be glass or other objects out there. So again, we're looking live right now in Pulaski, Oswego County under a weather alert. Pete, we know that you have been keeping a very close eye on the radar for you, for folks out there today. Yeah,
bring up the thing full screen, my weather computer. This is just some of what Megan mentioned, right? Look, all the things you need to do. The most important thing is the first one. Stay calm, go to a safe space, calm. If you're panicking, I don't care what you're doing, you're not going to do it correctly. You're going to not think straight. You got to try to stay calm. and go to those safe spaces that we've mentioned. Megan mentioned it, to wear sneakers, because if you unfortunately have damage, you're going to be walking on things, and that'd be a problem. Now, I want to go back to the radar just to show you an update of where everything is so that you can get more of a perspective. Just a reminder, tornado warning is in effect until 2:30 for that cell that we've been focusing in on. And let's show you the whole picture. We've got more cells between Rochester and Bath and Elmira. This is moving northeastward. We're going to have to watch these cells later within the next hour or two. Matt, can you get out of my ear, please? Here's the cell that has the tornado warning. I want to take off there's a ton of lightning here, but this is the cell right here that has the problem. Okay, and now I'm going to bring up the velocity just to show you. I'm going to just take off that yellow line that I drew, just to give you some perspective of how things are working here. This is a little bit better. It's still not good in terms of there potentially being a little bit of a spin here. It's not as bad as it was before, but there's certainly still strong winds. You know, this is the other thing. Whether it's a funnel cloud or not, it's almost, I don't want to say irrelevant, because tornadoes are like, oh my God, I see a tornado. I'm telling you right now, I'm looking at the winds inside this on a different system, and it's 65 mile per hour winds inside that storm. In fact, I can show you exactly where that is. Just stop this spinning. Okay, and then we'll take all these off. Okay, we'll go to we just want to just show you right here. Right here, it's 65 mile per hour winds in that green. This part right here on Route 3, you're getting 65 mile per hour winds. That's almost hurricane force. 75 is, okay? There's also another area on the south side of Pulaski. I believe the camera's here, which is actually in between the worst. Let's go to that webcam there. They're getting heavy rain. Luckily, the village of Pulaski might actually be spared, but not Rainbow Shores and between Sandy Creek and on the south, both south and north of Pulaski are probably getting the worst of it right now. So that's that particular perspective. And again, there's the storm giving you some motion. Look at all the lightning. I'll take the lightning off so you can see it better. There it is. Next up, in terms of who gets what. Well, over the next 10 to 15 minutes, yes, it's right over the 81 and Route 11 corridor. Bad. Then it's going to move into the Tug Hill. At least that area has a lot less people, okay? Because obviously property can be replaced. People can't, right? That's important to remember. We can always replace stuff. Can't replace life. Remember when you talked about the particular cell? There's a new cell right here. I know it doesn't have a tornado warning, but it's concerning, Megan. This one is in northwestern Oneida County. You see the one where Florence and Westdale, right? This one, it's got a severe thunderstorm warning in it right here.
What's concerning about that?
It's beginning to have a hook. It's not. Right. There's nothing on the velocity. There's no velocity here. That's good. There's no red. That's good. But these spin up real quick. I got to keep an eye on this for those of you up in Lewis County. I know that's technically a little bit outside our viewing area. But then for the rest of our area, heads up. Over the next 2 to 3 hours, all of these storms right here are moving northeast. So we are all going to have to at least have that potential. And we all still have a tornado watch in effect. Just a reminder, the difference. A tornado watch, everybody's got that. It does not mean you're getting a tornado. It doesn't mean you're getting severe weather. It doesn't even mean you're going to get a lightning strike. It means you need to be prepared because the ingredients are there. The warning, which right now is in Oswego County, there are ingredients coming together to at the very least give damaging wind, if not some twisting and possible tornadoes. You see the word tornado emergency. That is, I can't remember the last time a tornado emergency was issued in New York State. I'm not sure there's been one. Those are typically for just gigantic tornadoes hitting big population areas. God forbid we'd have a wedge tornado heading towards Syracuse. That would be an emergency. Okay. That's very, very rare to even get in the regular Midwest where there's tornado alleys. But you do. Just wanted to give that perspective. And again,
for that warning, Pete, this is in Oswego County.
Yes.
This is in central New York.
Yes.
If you are living in Oswego County,
yes.
Anywhere in Oswego County, you do have a tornado warning in effect.
Mm-hmm.
This needs to be taken very seriously. This is why we are doing wall-to-wall on-air coverage for you, because this can potentially be really, really dangerous. So make sure that you're heeding the warnings. Make sure that you're contacting friends and family. Pete, again, this is a time when it's summer. Kids are out of school. Perhaps they're out at the park. Maybe they're at a summer camp or doing some outdoor activities. You need to, of course, obviously bring them inside in Oswego County, but you also need to be weather aware all across central New York because, as Pete has been mentioning, this can change at a moment's notice. We were on the air what, 30 minutes ago, talking about
Yeah.
Madison County.
Mhm.
Now we're back on the air talking about Oswego County. That could shift to anywhere in central New York over the next 2 to 3 hours, because as
Yes.
Pete mentioned, we have more storms that are on our doorstep on the western edge of central New York that will be making their way in, Pete.
Yeah, and I just drew some lines on here. The leftover rotation right now would be in Richland heading to its new Scriba and Greensboro and the Tug Hill. The strong damaging winds, which may be straight line winds, are between Sandy Creek and north of Pulaski. So there, even if there's no tornado here, Sandy Creek, you're probably getting some very strong winds. And that warning continues until 2:30, just by the way, just as a repeating with respect to the tornado warning. That is for this area. It's going to be outside of that tornado warning shortly, that storm, but this is the tornado warning right here for the central and northeastern part of Oswego County right there.
Is it pretty safe to say, Pete, that we will likely see a lot of damage in these parts where we have these tornado warnings, that the speed, the wind velocity is such that power lines could come down, tree limbs could come down and such?
I wouldn't say the entire polygon of warnings, but I would think somewhere in there, there's probably going to be warning damage. I'd be shocked if 60-mile-per-hour winds didn't create some sort of wires or trees down. You know, that's the other thing. When you take a look at the power outages, those take a little while to actually come in. So like, you know, you might look at it and not see anything in Oswego County right now, and then all of a sudden 15, 30 minutes from now, after people lose their power, call in, or they get their, you know, how that works. It updates every 5 minutes or something like that. All right, so we got 1,200 customers. When we say,
is that for Oswego County? Yes, that is for Oswego
Right.
County. So 1,200 customers now impacted.
which isn't that many, but it's enough.
In Oswego County. Yeah.
And by the way, a customer is a family. Just that's why we say customers. That's like one family could be a person. It could be 5, 6, 7 people, one home or one subdivision of a home. So I would expect that to go up. And just again, let's bring this back to a bigger perspective here, just so you can see everything. More storms to come. We're going to cut it again. I would be shocked if we didn't, Megan. With all that stuff you see by Rochester and Penn Yan, more storms back there. They still have to come through. They all have either severe or tornado warnings in effect. They all have twisting potential. It's going to be a busy afternoon.
For Oswego County, though, specifically, if folks are just now turning on their TV, maybe they saw something about this on social media, so now they've tuned in to get more information.
Yep.
When is that tornado warning for Oswego County still in effect until?
Till 2:30. In fact, I'll bring it up right here
Okay,
so you can
so
see
we've got
it.
another 20 minutes or so of this.
Yep. Yeah, exactly. Just let me move this out of the way.
And this can be
Technically,
changed, right? This can be extended, as we know. It can be
Yeah.
shortened. Yeah.
well, yeah, here's the situation, right? This could be extended. Let's say they could, the polygon ends right here, right? But that storm's going to continue. It actually has a severe thunderstorm warning out ahead of it. They could change it to a tornado warning. I'm looking at the velocities, and there's still some twisting here. Okay, so I mean, if there's a tornado on the ground, it's there. It's at least heading towards a less populated area of the Tug Hill. I hope it doesn't go over the Montague radar. That would be bad. Then we'd lose that radar if that thing would be taking a hit.
In terms of velocity, are you able to get those
Yeah,
speeds?
yeah, and
Measuring it.
right. I can use that radar. I like using a different radar because it's just easier to use on the air at the same time. Right near Orwell, I've got 56-mile-per-hour winds, very near Orwell. So if I show that over here, I'll zoom in. Let me just take off all these arrows and yellow things. So Orwell's right up in here. Where is it? Right there.
There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah, right in the middle.
Yeah, so this is where I just looked at it. This area right here coming into Orwell has 56-mile-per-hour winds. So Orwell, you're probably at the very least getting damaging winds. It's also where there's still some twisting. So New Scriba and Orwell, you are still actually New Scriba is right on the edge of the tornado warning. That if there's any damage, it's coming right towards you. Orwell to New Scriba, right there, and maybe even Beecherville too, by the way. County Route 2, County Route 50. Go ahead.
You know, listen, as we've been talking about how this will continue to be a threat across the central New York region throughout the afternoon, let's talk about some practical things. If folks have plans this afternoon, if maybe there's a game, a kid's sports game or something, do you anticipate that this will continue to be a problem, that we will start to see some of these things getting canceled, and that families need to be weather aware, as you say?
I can't predict a cancellation. I can't do that.
Yeah.
I can tell you that there will be the threat for more thunderstorms coming up. It's pretty easy to see. I'll just put this into motion for you. Earlier we were concentrating on these cells that moved this way right here. That was the first time we cut in. Then we cut in on this storm here. We have all of these back here. And I know it's pretty hard to believe, but there's even a tornado warning south of Jamestown. So this afternoon, we're going to have more scattered storms. Whether or not they become tornadic or not, I would say there's probably going to be some more warnings at the very least, severe thunderstorm warnings. And considering our atmosphere, I would expect more tornado warnings, meaning there's at least rotation indicated in the storms. That doesn't necessarily mean there's actually a tornado on the ground. By the way, a good reminder, if you see damage and it's safe, you can send pictures, chime in on our website, cnycentral.com.
Yeah, but don't go outside.
No,
right?
I said safe. Be
That's
safe.
right,
Yeah.
that's right.
Only if you're safe. If, let's say, the storm went through and it damaged something. Yes, we don't want you videoing or taking a picture of a tornado or any of these things and being unsafe. Your safety is our priority, period.
Yeah, and I think that, there have been so many videos on YouTube and things of people becoming tornado chasers and things. So you really do need to heed warnings. And those are for very specific, they are professional people.
Yes.
This is not something that you want to do on your own.
I do not recommend anybody doing tornado or storm coverage unless they know what they're doing.
Yeah.
You get trained for that.
Hey, listen, if you are just now joining us as we approach about 2:15 in the afternoon here in central New York, we are live on the air with continuous weather coverage, a weather alert in effect for central New York, a tornado watch in effect for all of central New York, that tornado warning was in Madison County. That cell has moved off, but now it's Oswego County. That's where the tornado warning is right now. As we look at the radar behind me, it is all lit up as we experience the remnants of what was Hurricane Beryl, no longer a hurricane, but these are those remnants that we've been warning about all week that would be making their way to central New York. You need to heed the warnings. You need to take caution. If you're in Oswego County, you need to get to an interior home, interior space in your home. Stay away from any windows. Go to a basement if you can. Make sure that you're not out driving on the roads. Don't be near a tree. Don't be outside. And if you're in an area that does not have the tornado warning, perhaps you live in Onondaga County, just be weather aware. Stay with us on the air and on our social media platforms and our website, cnycentral.com, because Pete, as you've been saying, things can change throughout the afternoon. We have another line of strong to severe thunderstorms on our doorstep to the west of us that will be making their way to central New York over the next 2 to 3 hours. So this is a really evolving situation. If we have that camera from Oswego County from Pulaski still, we can certainly show that to you. We've been monitoring Route 11.
It's gone from there. It's gone. Yeah, it's gone. It's yeah, but the rain's gone from there.
Right, but this was Route 11 and Route 13 that we had been monitoring, and you can see the wet pavement, Pete, as that system had made its way through the Pulaski area just a short time ago.
Yeah, if we can bring up the weather computer, please, because this is still a twisting storm, literally right over New Scriba. I know it's technically a very small area, but right between New Scriba and Beecherville, which is the name that's right there, and then over to Otto Mills. So that would be also the Route 17, the County Route 17 corridor between Greenboro and the Salmon River State Forest. So you need to, and that's basically north of Redfield. Redfield's down here. This is actually about to exit the tornado warning. We'll see if I can't believe they won't, but I don't care if there's a warning there or not. I'm letting you know between New Scriba, Greenboro, the Route 17 corridor, which is this black line right here that goes to Redfield, you're next. I know there aren't that many people there, thank goodness, but the enhancement, by the way, this storm is going up the Tug Hill. Going up elevation might actually help to increase its dynamics because you're getting rising motion just from the air going up the Tug Hill Plateau, by the way. So with respect to all of that, okay, this is just in. The tornado warning has now been extended. You can actually see it, but maybe not with all these graphics. So I'm going to just go back. They have extended it now for another 40 minutes into eastern Oswego County and Lewis County. Now, Lewis County is technically not our viewing area. I say we stay with this storm until it exits. See the flashing red? That's the new warning right there. So right there, you've got the old tornado warning, which is this, which basically is almost over anyway. And here's the new tornado warning for the northeastern part. That's the Tug Hill of Oswego County, which we literally just talked about, the County Route 17 area north of Redfield. Then it goes to Lewis County. So see how Megan just mentioned that, yeah, things are going to change. That's that same cell. Now we've got a new tornado warning for northeastern Oswego County, Redfield North, across the Tug Hill. Then across from Montague to Lowville and West Turn and Lionsdale, that's for Lewis County. And it's a warning.
Some breaking information that's just coming to us from Onondaga County. Again, Onondaga County is under a tornado watch.
Right. There are no cells at all in Onondaga County yet.
However, certainly everyone here is being weather aware as well, which is smart.
Yes.
Onondaga County, as we told you a few minutes ago, is closing its offices as of about 20 minutes ago. But now the city of Syracuse has just issued some information ahead of what could potentially come to Onondaga County. We'll keep an eye on it for you. But amid this tornado watch here, the city of Syracuse administrative offices are closing in the next 10 minutes at 2:30 this afternoon. All parks and recreation youth programming from 2 o'clock onward is canceled. So if your kid was enrolled in a camp for the afternoon, or perhaps they have a sporting event going on this afternoon, that has all been canceled by the city of Syracuse Parks and Recreation Department. Let's take through a little bit more information. And Pete, please do interrupt me if you get new weather information. Emergency services, that is Syracuse Police, Syracuse Fire Department. They are fully operational. They are on standby, waiting to respond to any issues with regards to property damage, or should you need them. 911 is on standby to take your calls. You can report any power outages, trees down, any life-saving concerns to 911 here in Onondaga County. The city of Syracuse is urging people against driving or walking in flooded streets. Okay, so we've talked about this before. If you see a wall of water that comes through a street in your neighborhood, you're not going to want to drive through it. Turn around, don't drown. That is the motto that we always follow from our weather team. You do need to be careful because there could be rushing water that could be covering manholes or grates in the area. So you need to be careful if we do see any potential flooding. The city of Syracuse has also been in touch, Pete, with its shelters. Okay, so those who are housing homeless or vulnerable people. Housing vulnerable people who are looking for refuge from the storm, maybe, Pete, if people are living on the street, they can go right to the rescue mission.
Okay.
They can go to Catholic Charities.
It's good information.
I'll let you get back to some of the weather, and then I'll give you a little bit more information.
No, you can finish up. Go ahead.
Okay, so here's what I can tell you. The city of Syracuse has opened 4 safety shelters, okay, at 4 parks across the city of Syracuse. The Cecil Community Center, the Magnarelli Community Center, the Wilson Park Community Center, and the Seals Community Center. Those are going to be open from now until 8 o'clock. So if you need a place to go, or you need a safe place, perhaps if you lose power or there are trees down and you need to get to one of these safe locations, those 4 community park locations will be open for you. If you see downed trees or limbs in the city of Syracuse specifically, you can call City Line at 315-448-CITY, or you can just do it right from your phone, which you should keep with you throughout the afternoon. It's syrcityline.app. Don't touch any branches, trees on the ground. You don't know if there's a live wire perhaps that has fallen, so you do want to be really careful. One last bit of information, Pete. They're asking people, don't bring out your trash cans this afternoon. Trash cans, recycling bins, keep them up near your garage or in your garage, and we're going to deal with that at a later point. But that is the latest information coming to us from the city of Syracuse tonight.
Okay, just want to reiterate this tornado warning. In effect, it's, thank goodness, in a not populated area of the Tug Hill Plateau. However, it does hit more population centers over the Route 12 corridor and the Route 26 corridor between Lowville, Turin, and Leiden and Boonville, okay? That's that. But we actually have a brand new tornado warning that has been issued right on the edge of central New York. It's in Wayne County. Wanted to show you that over here. Now, granted, this is right on the edge, but this is the same stuff that's eventually going to come towards central New York, okay? So the new tornado warning that's in effect is this one right here for the SOTUS area. That's until 2:45. That is for this cell right here. That's between Webster and SOTUS. Velocity scan shows a little bit of something there. The problem is this area is literally really in between 2 radar sites. So it's tough. It's looking way up into the clouds. Regardless, it is a storm that has the potential for tornadoes going towards SOTUS and then eventually Lake Ontario. Again, if you have a friend or family member right now on any of the Finger Lakes or Lake Ontario, tell them to get to shore, even if it's nice and sunny like it is in Ithaca or Auburn or Skaneateles or Owasco or Seneca Falls or Geneva. We don't want you to be on the water when you've got fast-moving thunderstorms like this. Look at all these tornado warnings here. Okay, these are ones for Geneva West and Bristol and Prattsburg. All of this is moving northeast. That doesn't guarantee that there's going to be a tornado everywhere. Far from it. But we all have a tornado watch, which means we need to be prepared because, like Megan mentioned before, and I've mentioned it already, there are going to be new cells forming. And once they hit a certain level of severity, they're going to be able to twist and rotate. And when you have a rotating thunderstorm, that's when, at the very least, you're going to have damaging wind and potentially even a tornado. And that's why a tornado warning is for imminent danger. At least it's been spotted either by a person or in many cases by radar. If you're curious, by the way, there's something called a tornado emergency, which is very rare. That's for a huge tornado hitting a huge populated area. God forbid something like that would happen in Syracuse or Rochester. Okay, I think we've got a camera in Webster ready. We can bring that up. I'm not sure what it looks like, but we can certainly do that. Okay, it's oh, look at all that. Wow, okay, yeah.
Water that has really just come down in that area. This is in Webster. You can see the cars starting to drive through some really saturated pockets of these roads here. Please do be careful if you're on the road. Again, if you're in one of those tornado warning locations in Oswego County, get off the road immediately.
We haven't spent a lot of time on it because I haven't actually seen any flash flood warnings, but you did bring it up, which I appreciate, Megan, that these storms create a lot. It's literally tropical downpours. If you go outside, it kind of feels like Miami or like some New Orleans. There is so much water in the atmosphere that not only, yes, we can have damaging winds or tornadoes, but it brings a lot of rain at once. Now, our area hasn't seen that much rain, which is good because that way we can handle getting some downpours. But if you get repetitive downpours in the same spot, that could lead to some localized flash flooding, which I believe is what we were seeing. Just to recap, just to show you all the tornado warnings that are in effect for areas of Wayne, Ontario, Yates County, Steuben, and up here in Lewis and Oswego. Right now in the immediate Syracuse area, nothing yet. Of course, we hope we don't see any more, but here's why I'm concerned. All these cells are still moving northeast, like so. See all these individual cells? Okay, and it's still hot and humid, and it's running into the same atmosphere that has the opportunity of producing tornadoes. So that's what we've got for now. I mean, I'd like to take a little break, or we'll be on the air for 3 hours. I mean, I think we've gotten most of it. Is Matt Safer up there right now?
As we wait for that,
I guess not.
Let me give you a little bit of power outage.
Yeah, please.
We actually are now starting to get reports of power outages in the central New York region. So let me take through a couple of these that we're seeing. First, in Vernon, that's where we're seeing the most. 576 customers are in the dark right now in Oneida County, in Vernon specifically. The other pocket of Oneida County, just a few people, several dozen, 65 customers in Westmoreland. They are without power right now. So this is something that certainly could happen to you. So you want to make sure that as we head later into the afternoon and evening hours, that you have a flashlight, that you have all the things that you might need. Up in Oswego County, where we are seeing that tornado warning. Mexico, 136 people are without power right now in Mexico. 36 people in New Haven. So Pete, between Oswego County and Oneida County, we are starting to see some of these power outages pop up across the central New York region. As Pete's been mentioning, be weather aware today. Do make sure that you are taking precaution and stay with us on air and online on our social media channels, Pete, because we're going to continue to have updates. Okay,
just one more wrap up, and then we're going to let everybody go because we're right on the edge here. Do we have me? Can I have my microphone back?
Okay, Pete, yeah, we're coming to you. Here you go.
Okay, good. Just to show you again, I want to zoom into this particular cell that's right over the Tug Hill. It's the worst one of all of them. Look at all that lightning. You can't even see the cell, so I got to take the lightning off. We still have this rotation here at Auto Mills. You see this bright red and bright green together? That's likely, at the very least, a rotating thunderstorm and potentially a thunderstorm that has a tornado moving like this. So Monteola, this is basically the Tug Hill Plateau, areas south of Montague. And then we also have a tornado warning for Sodus West. And just to reiterate, we're going to monitor this entire area, including central New York, because we still have all of these cells. For Megan Coleman, I'm meteorologist Peter Hall. We will cut in again as necessary as potential new tornado warnings are issued. You can always find more information on cnycentral.com. I've got a web story that has weather alerts that are updated immediately and constantly. Just hit refresh on your browser on that web story. We'll be back with more information coming up.